Well, greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. Alright, so, what can I say, man? I've made like 3 videos during the past couple weeks. I haven't posted any of them. I've just been out of control busy. I apologize, man, but, life gets in the way of life. You know how it is. So some of the ones I'm going to post today are going to be pre-Baltimore. One will be during, I guess, the riots. And then, of course, today we heard the news that the 6 cops were arrested. Or 5 were, and they're looking for the other one. Whatever. So I don't have anything scripted as usual. I'll just kind of ramble along. I think we all probably think, most of us think the same thing anyways. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the arrest or the charges being filed? Look, man, this guy was alive. He interacted with the police, and now he's dead. Something happened. So an investigation, a detailed investigation, and even an outside investigation is fully warranted. I have no issues with that. I mean, people should not be killed by officials of the state for no reason. Now, does that mean that he was murdered? Absolutely not. There are a million plausible, possible scenarios that could happen to this guy. And I've seen them all with my own 2 eyes. I mean, I've never seen a guy break his own neck, I'll give you that much. And I don't want to sound like I'm defending these cops just because I'm a retired cop. The issue I have is the fact that race is always injected into these things. I go back to the Rodney King riots. That's when I was a cop. And let's face it, man. And during that, if you remember, some of you might maybe even too young to remember, but the cops that kicked Rodney King's ass went to trial in Simi Valley and were found innocent. Well, then the 92 riots happened because the thugs weren't going to let that fucking happen. And with enough burning down of the village, they had another trial on a federal level, and then they were convicted and they all went to jail. Okay. What was the lesson we learned? Break enough windows, burn enough stores, you get what you want. So this state's attorney, I can't remember her name, in Maryland, in my opinion, she sold these cops out in order to appease the crowd so they didn't burn down the rest of Baltimore. Tonight, it's Friday night. There's a lot of scheduled protests and all this other stuff. When you capitulate to the crybabies in the crowd, everybody suffers. And that's what happened. And I took offense and, quite frankly, umbrage with the use of, or the phrase that she put out when she was making her speech on, how many, they charge these cops with like 500 things each, which is a joke in and of itself. But she said, you spoke and I heard you. You said no justice, no peace. You don't acknowledge that shit when you're a city official. Everybody wants to get down to the level of the lowest common denominator. Any black person that speaks out against this fucking insane fucking violent behavior is a sellout. So you can't win. So the segment of the black population that believes that it's okay to burn down your fucking city, they're a write-off as far as I'm concerned. You're never going to change their mind because they're just too stupid. And I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying that because they're black. I'm saying that because they burn down their own fucking city. I've seen it over and over and over again. They burn down all the stores and then they fucking cry, man, nobody builds stores in our neighborhood. That's because the country's racist. If you had saved up money and you could invest it in one fucking business, would you open up a goddamn liquor store or a video store in the middle of that shithole, knowing that the first time something happened and they didn't get their way, they'd burn it down? You'd be an idiot. So I'm disappointed in that aspect of it. The other thing is, it was very clear that they were just throwing bones to the crowd, trying to make them all happy when they start, with these 600 charges, This guy was charged for fucking second-degree murder, manslaughter, attempted manslaughter, thinking of manslaughter, knowing about manslaughter, using the term manslaughter. all of that is just dog and pony show. None of that's going to make it to court. They're going to whittle all that down to, second-degree murder and manslaughter, which, somebody's going to have to get convicted for manslaughter at the very least. I mean, because the thing about him bashing his head and breaking his own neck, that ain't going to fly. I don't give a fuck what witnesses you had. The other thing that pisses me off is Rodney King, the Reverend Al Assfuck Sharpton. He was walking along with the mayor and basically escorting her to interviews. Okay, all you lovers of Al Sharpton, I mean, does it matter that he's a fucking criminal? He's a tax evader and he should have been in prison a long time ago, and he's a racist, race-baiting cocksucker. Can you imagine if we had a fucking some hardcore conservative as the mayor of a city, and the leader of the KKK flew in to escort her around to interviews? That's exactly what's going on with that. So that's just, if you're black and that doesn't offend you, then I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're an ignorant fuck and you're too stupid to understand the significance of that. And I'm sorry, I don't like calling names, you dumb shit. Okay, the other thing, cops. How many fucking videos have I made where I have been since fucking Ferguson and even before, telling you guys to stop fucking doing proactive police work? Here's a good example of 6 cops that obviously are not subscribed to my awesome channel on YouTube. They didn't get the memo from LMS Tactical that says you get paid the same amount of money whether you look at this guy and go, oh look, a parolee, I bet he's probably violating his parole somehow, and you get out and chase him and he has a heart attack and dies and you go to prison for murder. You get the same pay as if you would have went, hey look, there goes the asshole, and you just drove on and got another fucking cup of free coffee. The difference is you don't go to jail if you go with option B. You have families, you have careers, you're in the middle of your career, let's say, or toward the end. Trust me, man, this is a good time to be a retired cop, because nobody out there wants you working on their behalf. Even in the all white areas where they're all fucking, hi Steve, hi Bill, those guys are the ones that are fucking the most against righteous police work. Righteous police work is getting out of your car and sneaking through the fucking bushes, man, and fucking watching dope deals go down and getting in foot pursuit and fucking tackling motherfuckers and handcuffing them and getting them and their stolen gun and drugs off the streets so that the fucking people that are decent, that are forced to live in the projects, can live in peace and harmony. That is righteous police work. Can't do it anymore, folks. You cannot do it. Because nobody's got your back. Your department's going to sell you out. Your mayor's going to sell you out. The fucking media wants to see you hung. They want to see you lynched. Let these motherfuckers, and I'm not talking about just in Baltimore, I'm talking about from Beverly Hills to fucking Baltimore, fucking Main Street, USA. Let them kill each other. I know that goes against the fucking oath that we took. Society has turned its back on you. When you have a guy like Al Sharpton being endlessly invited into the White House and showing up at these things as if he's a man of fucking honor, the world's upside down. Forget your fucking oath and just drive by and go, look, a burglar. That's cute. I love seeing a man in a mask. Where are we eating, partner? That's what you do. All right? There is no quota system. You're not going to get paid less. Ride around in your car and retire when you can. Ride around in your fucking police car and retire as soon as possible. You guys want to go? Got some guys here at the crosswalk. They're not going. I'm all fucking confused. I'll just fucking run people over. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so, what was I saying? Yeah, ride around in your police car. Just roll around, wave at the burglars, say hello to the drug dealers, and just fucking go through your watch that way. It's not worth it. Is there anybody that's watching this that doubts that those 6 officers wish to fuck nobody would have started chasing this dude? People are like, well, why'd they chase him? I heard he has I don't know for sure, but I mean, I heard that he's well known by the police. He's probably got a fucking rap sheet a mile long. He's probably on parole, and if you're on parole, guess what? It is against the law to run from police if you're on parole. Maybe they, clearly they said everybody knows this guy. If he's a local dope dealer and you see him and he takes off, that's your probable cause right there. So, it's not like they just randomly chose some guy. If they chased every black guy they saw, they'd be running from the beginning of Watch to the end of Watch. So shut the fuck up with that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cops, you're on your own. If you want to go out there and keep doing hardcore police work, I'll see you on the news, man. And I hope that doesn't happen, but fuck, you've been warned. Element Tactical, I'm out.